Yo, what's going on, everybody? Your boy Noobs here with a brand new video for you guys today. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're all feeling good, looking good, smelling good, having a good day. In today's video, discussion video, no gameplay, just gonna be doing some yapping. If you don't want to hear someone yap, you're in the wrong video. Maybe we'll have some gameplay videos later today. We shall see. Depends on what comes out with content and how I'm feeling when it comes to playing the game, because this isn't my main game, so I actually have to want to play the game in order to play the game. Anyways, today's video, I want to talk about players who are kind of controversial in the sense of people consider them to be bad. And I just have like a collection of players here who I often see in Twitch chats or YouTube comment sections being called bad. Except Mbappe. Mbappe is here for a different example. But these are just example cards, and just there now, I don't think any of these players are bad. So before anyone comments immediately going, those players aren't bad, I don't think they're bad either. But I just wanted to talk about it. So to start things off, what I do want to say is you have to understand that the term bad in this community is overused. It's one of them words that's used by people that has lost its meaning. You think about like what words in our society has lost its meaning, has lost what it used to mean, and is now just overused and to a point to where it's just cringe. Things like the term woke. It's such a cringe loser word now, but it's been co-opted to mean something different from what it meant when it originally became a thing. And the term bad, when it comes to this particular game, it's kind of the same way, where it doesn't mean what it used to mean. People call something bad, even though more so because they themselves can't use the card or have a hard time using the card, so they just go, oh well, it's bad. And it's like, you have to understand, some cards have unique body types, and you yourself play the game a certain way so where those cards won't be effective for you. The card's not bad just because you suck with it. That's why there's people who use those exact same cards as you, and they cook with those cards because they're good with that card. And one of the ones that I'll use them was Lauren James. So Lauren James Team of the Year, I don't remember who Twitch chat it was, but someone has said that Lauren James Team of the Year is trash, and then somebody else commented that he played against Lauren James, and that person spammed freaking Trivelas against him and made every single one of them, and he got beat like 7-2. It is like, now I had commented in reply to that guy. I was like, yeah, it's kind of funny how that works, right? Some people can learn to use a certain card, some people can't. So is Lauren James bad? No, I actually have a video of Lauren James on this channel on my second account. I actually packed Lauren James Team of the Year in 8-3x10. And I used her. And one of the things in that account is her base shooting is kind of a struggle, not in terms of like her statistics, just like you hit the squirt, you hit the shoot button. It is a bit of a struggle. Now, if you're doing like Trivelas and things like that, and you have a higher chance of making shots with her, but she's a card that generally doesn't have shooting play styles outside of being able to fact that she can hit Trivelas. I'm pretty sure you can also probably hit like finesse shots with her inside the box as well, because they did buff making finesse shots inside the box. She didn't even have basic Trivela, but apparently I've never done Trivela with Lauren with this card, but apparently she's crazy when it comes to Trivela shots. But in general, one of the ways I explained in the comment section for the Twitch chat was Lauren James has a very, very unique body type. She is a stocky body type player in the game, and generally when it comes to stocky body types, they're kind of complicated to use. Their movement is weird. Their dribbling is weird. They are a weird card to use. So a lot of people struggle with stocky characters. Her brother is also a stocky character. So when people use Reece James at right back, they tend to like feel him to be a little weird to control because of his body type. Even when it came to like the last game with his footies card, which is a hella cracked card, people just weren't all that interested in the card because they just didn't like his body type. And someone who's also comparable to both of them is Puskás, who also has a stocky body type. So Puskás, I haven't really heard a lot about this card, but his base card and his card from last year, they gave us for not last year, but like last FC, they gave everyone for free in season pass. There's people who will call him that card and his base card this year a bad card. And again, another player who just has a very different body type. People need to stop calling cards bad just because they're bad with them. Like, that's kind of the take of this video. Stop calling cards bad because you're bad with them. They're not a bad card, you just don't know how to use them. You know, and everyone here other than Mbappe is a card I've seen people call bad. And everyone here kind of just has a unique body type. Even when it comes to like not necessarily like being stocky, there's just something about their character that's unique. And people struggle with them. I see people say Maradona is underwhelming. It's like, why? Why do you think he's underwhelming? Don't just say the word he's underwhelming. Give a reason. Your opinion doesn't matter. Your reasons matter. Why do you think he's underwhelming? I've used this card. This is the right wing card, but he can also play cam, obviously. He cooks. You know, like you see, he's basically scoring a goal a game for me. He's a very, very good card, but he's a card that's if you don't have the 96, you have, like, let's say you just have the 89. Let's go with only the 89 rated cards. When ignore the 92 exists, when ignore that 96 exists. If you're only using the 89 rated card, well, you got to understand that that's an 89 rated card, you know, which means he's not in the power curve. The power curve right now is shifting into being 90 to 94. That's pretty much where the EA power curve is. Our power curve mentally is somewhere different. We're already thinking 94 plus when it comes to the player base power curve, but the EA power curves are around 90 to 93, maybe 90 to 94, 90 to 93. So you have an 89 rated card that's playing against and competing with, you know, 90 plus cards. You know, so I'll give an example for my own cards. So let's move Bill right here real quick. Let's grab Team of the Year Robin. This card is insane. Better than a freaking Maradona card, who I usually play, who also plays right wing. You know, so if we're comparing an 89 rated Maradona to a 94 rated, you know, Team of the Year Evo, that's a hard comparison. The 89 rated card has one playstyle. This one has 3. You know, you're comparing the 89 rated, who has less shooting and less everything compared to this card. Yeah, it's going to feel underwhelming. You know, like, and everyone has one of these cards. And if you don't have a Team of the Year blueprint card, you probably have another card that's 92 at least that you play in the spot. And it's like, okay, you're comparing this to an 89 rated card. So yeah, it's going to feel underwhelming because he's 89 rated. Some people will say, well, actually, I have the 92 rated and it still feels underwhelming. Well, maybe you're just bad with the card. You know, it's not the sign that the card is bad. You are bad with the card. It's not to say that you are bad. Because here's the thing: when you say things like that, when you say someone's bad with a card, they go, "Well, I'm an elite division player now, and I win at least 10, you know, weekend league games every week." It's like, cool. Those aren't indicative to anything. Because generally, when it comes to achieving a high rank, you can achieve a high rank in video games by repetition, by just playing a lot and finding out how to manipulate the game, aka finding out what the meta is, finding out what the broken mechanics are, and just abuse that. You can achieve high ranks. So that's not indicative of not only having good or bad takes. It's not indicative of, you know, you not being good or bad with a card. You know, it's just an irrelevant thing. You know, generally when it comes to understanding the game, you look at people who actually understands the ins and outs of the game, not who understands just, I got a high rank. Why do people love Inception's reviews? Because he's insightful. He's been in the community for a very long period of time, and he understands the fundamentals of the video game. Why people like Nate the Foot Accounting? He's not a high rank player. He's only like Div 3. But people will love his opinions because he's been in the community for a very long period of time. He understands the ins and outs of the game. You don't have to be, you know, Boris or Anders to, you know, when it comes to like their rank levels, to give an opinion of the game. You just need to understand the game. And I'm not saying they don't understand the game, because both of them understand the game. But people like to flex their rank or how many wins they get in champs to like basically like to give their opinion that's usually a bad take gravity. You know, and it's like, that's not how that works. But anyway, so I'm not saying you're bad in the game if you don't think these cards are good. What I'm trying to say is your playstyle matters when it comes to the cards that you use. If your playstyle is based around, let's say, agile players, people who are stocky won't work with you because you're not used to those kind of players. You like to have agile players. An example I'll use, what I didn't put in here, is Rodri. Rodri is a big body dude. He's not very quick. I've seen people complain about the Rodri Team of the Year card. And it's like, well, what are you doing with that Rodri card? Well, I'm using it as a box. Why? I'm not saying it's impossible to do that, but Rodri is at best, when it comes, let's say at best, he's best used as a pivot. Are you taking advantage of your cards? Are you using your cards to the best of their ability? You know, like you have to like understand that. Are you using your cards to the best of their ability? Rodri's a pivot, so Rodri should plan right here in this spot on holding and be the one who's using ping pass and freaking tiki taka to get to your other mids into your forwards. Not someone who you have your box to box. You're trying to have like, you know, play pretty much everywhere in like this kind of like sector, you know. And the same thing like the Zidane card. I've seen people call this Zidane card bad, you know, and then a lot of people when they see that kind of go, oh, you're just mad because you don't have the you know the Evo version. There's people who have the Evo version who's like, oh, that card's bad. It's not a bad card. You probably just don't use them correctly. Not only that, his body type might not fit your playstyle. I'll use myself for an example. I've actually stopped using this card on my main team, not because I think it's a bad card, because I think it's a pretty good card. You know, I have 219 games played with it. Why did I stop using this card? I just like Bamonti better. Why? She's just a quicker player. She fits my playstyle. I like having players who are very, very good at certain particular things, primarily, you know, being quick with their passes, being quick with their movement, and also she has finesse shot plus. I'm a finesse shot merchant. That's pretty much all there is to it. So, you know, she's quicker, finesse shot. I prefer the Bamonti card over the non card. The other thing about me is I'm a passion merchant. The players who I put in my squads are based on me actually having some kind of like link to them, not meta. You know, I can make a meta squad and do fine with it, but I just prefer to be a passion merchant. I am a passion merchant, so I understand, you know, certain things. So another player we talked about Lauren James. We can move her from the squad. We talk about what's his face, Maradona. We can move him from the freaking squad. Puskas fits in the same category as Lauren James. You know, someone who just a body type people aren't used to, and it comes like Zidane. So let's talk about these right here. So I've seen people say Casillas is bad, and it's like, that's nuts. And people go, well, he's too short. You know, he's 6'1". It's like, that's not short. 6'1's pretty tall. Like, nah, I need someone who's freaking, you know, Donnarumma size and freaking Van der Sar size and Courtois size. Like, EA literally makes these cards in a certain way that compensates for what they lack. This Casillas card is crazy. Because of far reach, his height's irrelevant. You know, if you allow a goal and you feel like he allowed the goal because of his height, that goal's going to go in regardless of who's in net. That goals are determined it's going to go in. I've scored distance goals, finesse shots, trivelas, you know, shots where tall players should be able to like defend against it, against the tall players. I've destroyed Donnarummas. I've destroyed Courtois. But Casillas is different. Casillas, because of far reach, he flies around that back like Superman. Like, there's been saves I've seen him do for me where I'm just like, bruh, thank God I got Casillas. There's been saves he does for other people. I was like, bruh, like I'm a realistic person. I love football. I'm the kind of person who, if you watch me, and I'll be like, you know, good save to my opponent because I like football. I'm not going to sit here and complain that Casillas made a save that I thought would be a guaranteed goal because his animations and his playstyle plus is kicked in. It's like, all right, that's a good save. You know, I've seen this man just fly around like a goddamn superhero to get saves. And it's like, hey, that's a good card. And the other thing about keepers though is this: keepers are inconsistent in this game, primarily because this is a video game. You gotta remember that this is a video game. Inconsistencies will happen where sometimes your keeper is the best player on the pitch, and then sometimes your keeper sucks. That's just how a video game works. Sometimes the reason why you allow a lot of goals is because your keepers, because your defense sucked, because, you know, your fullbacks are bad, or your midfield is bad. Your midfield is part of your defense. If your midfield sucks and people are just walking through your midfield right to your freaking defenders, yeah, they're going to score goals. Also, there's mechanics in the game people can abuse that makes scoring easy. So even if you have the most meta midfield, the most meta back line, the tallest of tall players in net, if people know how to abuse the mechanics of the game, they're still gonna score against you. You know, if someone freaking, you know, is on a counter attack in a 4-2-1-3, And they do a through ball through your midfield to, right down here to your center backs and speed boost to the keeper, score a goal. That's not an indication of your players being bad. And that's just someone who just abused the freaking mechanic. Someone knows if someone knows every angle to where you can get a guaranteed Trivela, they don't care about your midfield, your defense. They just want to get close enough so they can get to that angle for the Trivela and just score it. This is a video game. It doesn't matter at the end of the day when it comes to how good your players are if people can find a mechanic to abuse and do it. So it's about Konate. I think he will call this card trash. And again, what's Konate? Much like how I mentioned your stocky players who are hard to use, Konate is a unique body type in his own right. He is a bit of a big body who's kind of slow when it comes to his left to right movement. His dribbling is a 77. And so people can have a hard time using him. He's not a quick center back. People can struggle using this card. And again, it's not the card that sucks. It's not even that sucks. It's just you don't know how to use that card properly. That's just all it is. You yourself don't know how to properly use that card. So you struggle with it. Konate does have flaws. His animations can be very, very awkward. His animation can be clunky at times. His animation can cause you to allow a goal because it's just his animations. But those situations are rare. Most times he's freaking crazy good. And again, this is someone who I've used 487 games. I haven't used this card like a month. Because I got, winner wild card. Yeah, is it winner wild card? Yeah, I got winner wild cards Holland. I got Rio Ferdinand. I got Team of the Year, Irene Paredes. I just evoed Rafa Marquez. Like, I have other options. And again, Passion Merchant. So I want to use who I'm passionate about more so than the meta. He's a good card. Does he have wonky animations? Yes. But again, at the end of the day, if you think the card is bad, that's more so indication of you yourself not knowing how to use the card. The card's not bad. It's just not a card for you. And that's kind of like the moral of the story when it comes to this video. These cards aren't bad. They're just not cards that you can utilize. Because I guarantee you'll face someone who uses all these cards and kick your ass. So let's move him out of here. Kick a seat out of here. Bale kind of fits the same category as everyone talked about today, where it comes to like, it's just his body type. This card is freaking nuts. But I play him as a right winger. He kicks ass. I have a lot of videos on my channel where I'm using Bale as on the right side, and he just does crazy things for me. 130 games with Bale. He's on the left side, does the same thing. He's on the striker, he does the exact same thing. Bale's a very, very good card. If you think Bale sucks, again, he doesn't suck. It's just you yourself don't know how to properly use Bale, or he just doesn't fit your play style or your play type, or how you yourself approach the game. So let's talk about Mbappe. Why did I put Mbappe into the squad? No one thinks Mbappe is bad. Well, the thing about Mbappe, and it just is a general statement, people have an expectation of cards. Their expectation is this: if you are a certain monetary value, you should automatically make me a good player. That's how people's brain works. When they think of meta, the meta is these are players who are automatically making your team better because they compensate for what you lack. Mbappe is Mbappe. He has animations and he's coded in a way in the games where whether you have the gold Mbappe or any of his promo cards, he's always going to be the best forward in the game. So his value, it stands out. Why? Because no matter what you do with Mbappe, he's going to freaking score. It just seems automatic. Mbappe seems like an automatic scorer, and that's how a lot of the meta is. The meta just seems automatic. If I'm using BVD and Saliba, it just feels like they automatically are going to gravitate to the ball on defense and get that damn ball. So that's what our brain is hardwired to when it comes to the meta. It's hardwired to feel like these cards will automatically do it. I don't have to be good. They'll do it for me. And that's what Mbappe is. He's like the poster child of this is the perfect meta card. This is the perfect card on, he costs a lot of money, and this is why he costs a lot of money, because he's just that damn good. And because of that, people just feel like every card should be the exact same way. And if they're not, they're bad. If the card doesn't make me automatically a better player, they're a bad card. Well, so guess what? You yourself have to actually play the damn game. You know, sometimes when a player isn't good, it's an indicator that you don't know how to use that card for playstyle purposes and things like that. Sometimes a card's not good in your hands because you yourself just aren't as good at the game as you think you are. You know, one of the things that you don't see having my videos, you watch my reviews, you rarely ever hear me say the word that card is bad. The rare times you do hear me say that card is bad is never in the sense of the card being bad, but the card being behind power curve. For example, I had a recent video, I think it was my Lynn Williams video, where I said, damn, this my freaking Renard is struggling. And my comment that I made after that was like, I might need to improve her, not remove her. I said improve, which basically just means she needs to evo, you know, because if she's behind power curve. You never hear me complain about my players when I miss shots. Why? Playing precision shooting. Precision shooting, what happens there? I'm the one aiming. If I'm the one who's aiming the freaking, you know, the stick on where I shoot the ball, whose fault is it that I missed? It's not the player's fault. If I shoot like a near post shot with Mbappe, let's say we got to keep it right here and make a run. We're right here, getting ready to take a near post shot, and I miss to the left. Does that mean Mbappe sucks? No, my aim was off. That happens with that can go for anybody. If I miss with a left winger or right winger, a midfielder, hell, if I miss with a freaking fullback, I'm playing precision shooting. Where I aim is where that ball's going to go. So if I missed, that's on me, not the player sucks. But a lot of people play this game when they miss, oh my god, this person sucks. I've seen some streamers who are relatively bad at the game. I say relatively, and they'll be like, oh, how did you miss that shot? How you missed that shot? He missed that shot. It's like, you're controlling them. You are literally the person who's pressing the button to shoot. You missed the shot. And if you play with assisted, you can still miss shots with assisted. You can still miss sitters with assisted because you can still over aim the shot, or you can pull too left on your stick, or too far right on your stick. Or you can put too much power on a shot. You can still miss your shot. You know, and also just this is a long video, so this is gonna be the last thing I say about this. Sometimes people just play better defense than you, and you don't score the goal because they just play better defense, or because on this given match the keeper was on point. And this is ignoring movement entirely. Movement should not be in the game. But like, let's just say someone's playing a game with no movement on, and they don't even control the keeper at all. They just let the AI do it, and the AI just on point that game. It just happens. It happens IRL. IRL, sometimes a keeper is just on their shit, and nothing gets past them. And sometimes a keeper just struggles. It's an off day, whatever it may be. Even when it comes to the greats, I guarantee you, if you got into an interview with Van der Sar, he would probably tell you that what games he's played where he felt like he just wasn't good that day. Because that's just life. That's just sports. Anyways, that's it for me. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Catch you guys on the next one. More of the story is, you know, don't just call cars bad because you yourself struggle with them. Don't call cars overpriced or underwhelming because you yourself don't like them. Other people might. You know, other people might use those cards and enjoy those cards. This is a video game at the end of the day. At the end of the day, people want to enjoy a video game. And at the same time, when it comes to the fact that this is a video game that resets once a year. So people don't want to invest too much of their own time or IRL money into a game that they know for a fact that in a few months, this game is obsolete. But they want to just reuse wherever they find fun. So you're in this Wayback's chat telling him press send on SBC because he's using a squad that isn't meta. You just want to have freaking fun. I watched Boris today. Today's the 17th. And he was doing an icon SBC. And people in the chat was like, don't do the icon SBC, do Mbappe. And it's like, he doesn't want to do Mbappe. Just because you are a meta rat, you want everyone to play the same cards as you, and you want people to throw all their fodder into play Mbappe, doesn't mean they have to. Content creators don't owe you anything. We don't. Like, I had people in my freaking chat when it comes to my YouTube videos tell me what to do. I had someone like, play this formation. It's like, no, don't tell me what to do. And sometimes it's okay, like if you word it correctly, if you say, hey, would you be okay with trying out this formation? Then that's one thing. And it's like, okay, I'll consider that. But if you tell me, hey, play this, like, you're not the boss of me. You know, even because like my reviews, I do off meta reviews. For those who wonder on my reviews or what they are, I do off meta reviews. There's enough people on this platform who do meta reviews. So I do reviews of women players because I follow a lot of women's sports like IRL. I literally watch all the French leagues games when it comes to PSG, OL, and freaking Paris FC. I watch all Barcelona games. I watch Man United and Chelsea games. I'm not a Chelsea fan. I just watch Chelsea because they have a lot of USA players. I've never missed a single NWSL game since NWSL started. They follow me on freaking Twitter. I'm a big, women's sports guy. But also I still watch, my main teams like Barcelona, Man United, men's teams. So I tend to mostly do on women players because that's who I notice the most. But I also do male players too who are, just not meta. So I have people who don't even ask me to freaking do a review of a player. They'll tell me to do a review. Like, that's someone's like, do a review of SAR. It's like, you can't tell me who to review. That's not how this works. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. This has been a long enough video. Hope you all enjoyed. Leave any thoughts you have in the comment section below. Good luck in your games. Have some fun. It's a video game at the end of the day. I've been AnubisArchangel. See you guys out here. This is